All right, gang. Well, welcome to the Edge Power Sports. Having another great moment with the dirt bike community. So we're going to actually talk about some tires and really differences on compounds on tires, on what you want to look for, and different advantages and disadvantages on even how you can keep your tires lasting a little longer, and what you should really be using those different compounds for. We get a lot of questions on that. We've actually seen riders just smoke off a set of tires when they were just riding them in the wrong conditions, and they wonder if it was a bad product and they just chose the wrong weapon for the wrong battle out there. So we're going to go over some things on that, and some differences, and some things to look for, and some things to consider. I did want to kind of do a little fun shout out though. Our last video promoted Supermoto, and I kind of talked about some goodies that I did on my bike, and I talked about hoping to gain a little higher position. So pulled a couple second places, pulled a first place, so I think that was pretty fun. So something you can kind of always strive to do. So I was pretty proud of that. Just wanted to sport that out a little bit. All right, well, let's talk about tires. So this tire here is actually off of a Pro Desert Racer's bike. He came in and he actually took first place in his class, so the guy was on fire. But you can notice how aggressive this guy is getting. He's popping lugs off of it and really just chewing up this tire. Now this tire is kind of a medium soft compound tire. Works good for him. He's actually going to be going to a harder compound tire just so it holds up a little better in life for him. But these are things you can look at your tire condition and see if the lugs are starting to come off, see if they're starting to crack or split. It's definitely time to change those things. Another thing you can also look at, let me see if I can find the date code on this. Tires actually have a born-on date. Let's see, this one's kind of small here, but if you actually look on a lot of tires, you're going to see a little oval window here, and it looks like this one's 8/21. So this tire was actually built in 2021. So that's an older tire. You might want to consider getting a fresher set of meats to put on the tire or on the bike, and that way it's going to last you a little longer. Rubber does get hard after a while. If you take good storage care of a tire, a lot of your major manufacturers will actually tell you that you can get a good stored tire to last up to about 5 to 8 years if you've got it in good conditions. If you're just leaving it in the backyard or in the back of your truck over the winter, probably not the best conditions for it. So you can get some life out of them. They do gain a little bit of hardness on that carcass though. So something to keep in mind, especially with road race tires. That's something you want to keep fresh, because those do start getting a little harder on you and start getting a little skittery out on that asphalt there. So there's a good example of one that's been chewed up here. Let's kind of take a look at some different types of tires. So this is actually a brand new tire that came out, and this one is this one's the Geomax. It's the 62M, and this one's more of a hard compound tire, but you can see how it's got different lug patterns on it. They've actually updated. That lug didn't actually go all the way through on the previous model. It was kind of a U shape right there. So all these things actually help develop in cornering speed. It helps the carcass flex and have a little more cohesion to it. So more of a medium hard compound tire. So this would be great for desert, MX, Supercross, something like that. And then a little more on the opposite end of the extreme. This would be more of a trials tire. This thing is like chewy bubble gum. You can mush the lugs. They really flex and stretch. So if you're going out and playing on some doing some heavy trials riding or some enduro riding, you could definitely run with something like that. This one might get a little chewed up in some heavy enduro on rocks and stuff, but if you're going out and doing some boulder challenges and stuff like that, this is a great tire for that. So nice little example of a good trials tire there. And then this is actually another soft compound tire, but this is more for dirt, heavier use. You can see how these lugs really twist and bend. This is something that I'd probably take out to maybe Moab or Cane Creek, something like that, to where you're getting a lot of sandstone, water, dirt, the whole nine yards. But this is going to give you a good grip to really climb up all those obstacles too, so it won't slip out as much. So a little example there. And then what do we got here? There are different prices in tires. I'm not going to give you numbers, but this is a Shinko. Shinko is actually one of more of your budget tires. Awesome tire though. I actually know a lot of desert clubs that actually run with this tire. It holds up really well. It's still got soft lugs on it, but they swear by this. So something to kind of think about. This is one of our Shinko 525. So a lot of options out there. And then we can get into another one of the Geomaxes here. This is more of a motocross style, so more of a kind of an all-around tire. I actually run this on my DRZ when I'm out playing in the dirt. And a little trick you can do when these lugs start getting kind of fished over, they'll start rounding off on one side. You can actually take the tire and remount it to where you've got a good square edge when it's biting again. So you can get a little longevity out of that as well. So if you're on top of it, flip it soon, then you can get about 50% more life out of that tire. So just something to think about when you're looking at your tires and when you're doing your maintenance on your bike. And then this is actually a new model as well. And yeah, this is another one of our Geomaxes. This is the MX 63, and you can really see how the lugs have split here. A lot deeper traction on them. So good all-around motocross tire as well. This one's more of a medium hard, so that'll work you really well in a lot of good conditions. Another different tire we've got, if you're out in the sand world, this is actually more of a dirt sand paddle. So it's actually got these sand paddles cut into it to where when you pop off the dirt and go into the sand, it's gonna really scoop up that sand and really keep you motivating out on that looser terrain out there, but then you can still bounce onto the harder situations as well. So gang, these are kind of some different examples of different tires you can run. We do get some questions on, can I run a different tire, a different brand from the front to the rear? It's not the end of the world if you do. I would say that if maybe you're wanting to be a little more competitive, or if you just want a little more dialed in handling front and back, I'd try to run with the same branded tire. Plus, you don't know if compounds are a little different. I do know riders that maybe like a little softer compound up on the front versus the rear. So they'll actually purposely run a different brand of tire. There's nothing wrong with that. It just expect that you're gonna get some different feeling out of the front and rear when you're doing that. A lot of this information, guys, you can find, there's the whole internet thing. You can, a lot of dirt bike catalogs out there. But talk to your local dealer. If you got questions, give the Edge Power Sports a call. All our guys at the parts counter are super knowledgeable. Everyone rides here, so that's kind of the great thing about it too. So we can really help you out with that. I hope that helps out, gang. Maybe that'll kind of get your head thinking in different directions, and kind of look at some different tire types that you can look at, and especially in compounds. And maybe that'll get you in a little better situation out there and just have a little more fun out there. Hope that worked out, gang. Hope to see you next time. Thanks.